We'll be talking about data cleaning. Now we're going to spend a lot of time on data cleaning because the bulk of your work as a data analyst is done in data cleaning. As a matter of fact, if you are good in data cleaning, you are half a pro in data analysis. First of all, when you are given a data, you are given a work to analyze. Now the first thing you do is to look at the work. Just take a look at your work. Seen this work already, I'm sure you can see certain things that are not tying up. So look at your work, go to the end. Now one thing you can notice is incomplete data filling. It is very obvious in this work. Let me scroll down and show you more. You can see incomplete data filling, and as a matter of fact, you could be given a work like this to analyze as a data analyst, and this is a bad data. You can't get any good result with this. Okay, so just look at your data and see if there's something you can work on. So this brings us to what is data cleaning. Now data cleaning is actually the process of preparing your data for analysis, preparing your entered data for analysis, making sure that it is suitable, it is ready for analysis, that is, or your spreadsheet is in a good shape for analysis. Okay, so after checking this is your data, after checking your data view, the next thing you want to do is to check your variable view. Now you can check your variable view too and see, actually you can actually see some errors here. Now if you look at this work very well, you will see that most of the type used is string. Now as a matter of fact, if you code in string is going to give you a lot of errors. String is going to give you a lot of difficulties because there are certain manipulations that string will not allow. Okay, now string will hinder you from performing several operations, several manipulations on SPSS. Talk about recoding into different variables, even computing. So string is not the best for coding your data. For example, now if you look very well here, if you look at the values here, you will find that the value has been coded with numerals already, 0 for no and 1 for yes. So there's no need putting it in string anymore. Numeric will be better used for a situation like this. So you ought to use numeric for most of your variables. As much as possible, you should use string less. You should use string less as much as possible. Okay, so so we can see that if there's error here, most of the coding is on string. So the first thing you may want to do is to convert some of them from string, but make sure you don't lose any data in the process. Okay, so for example, now if you convert all of this to string coded already in figures, you will likely not lose any data. But at the bin it was not coded and you are converting to string, you are going to lose the whole of that data. Take for example, you can see ethnic group and tribe, no coding. If I should convert to string directly now, I'm going to lose everything there. And I've explained this in a previous video, what you do to data in string, like the one I explained after importing from Microsoft Excel. So what you do to data in string, that is by first of all coding it in figures before converting it to numerics, because if you don't do that, you are likely going to lose your data. Okay, so this is the first thing you will do. If I look at this work now, the first thing I'm going to do is to change my type to numeric as much as possible. Because string will give me a lot of issues when I go ahead with analysis. Let me show us an example. Like I said, if I'm to convert this to numeric now, okay, let's check first of all. Let's check. We can see that for the tribe and ethnic group, we can see the words typed here, and as you will observe, by the time I change to numeric, we're going to lose everything here. So okay, let's go back. You can see we lost everything in the whole of this place. So this is the only case you might have issues when converting to numerics. But if we convert the other ones, you will see that for all of them that are coded, we won't lose any data. Take for example, to make this fast, let me use Ctrl+C, highlight, Ctrl+V. Okay, so we have numeric now. If I go back, let's go back again. That's from place of delivery to cesarean section to cesarean section patient. Okay, so if I go back to place of delivery, you can see what we have here, down to cesarean section. Cesarean section, let's go back again and check very well. That's 12 place of delivery cesarean section down to this cesarean section over here. Okay, so we have from this very spot down to this very spot. You can see we didn't lose anything because it's already coded. Okay, so that's how it is when you convert from numeric to string. That's how it is when you convert from numeric to string. Okay, so like I said, the first thing you want to do is to make sure that most of your types are in numerics. And for cases like this tribe now, we lost data already. To bring back our data, I'm going to take it back. Okay, we got back our data. So like I explained earlier, what you do to such data is that first of all, you code it into figures, then probably you write it down. Maybe you're using 1 to represent Esan tribe, you're using 2 to represent Yoruba tribe, you're using 3 to represent Benin tribe, you're using 4 to represent Igbo tribe. So you code everything in numerics 1, 2, 3, 4. So the whole of this column will be filled with numerics, will just be represented with numerics, and meanwhile you retain what you use them to replace, so that you don't make any mistakes. So after converting to your figures, you can then safely convert to numeric, and then you do your coding. And while you're coding in your value labels, you repeat the same thing here: 1 for Yoruba, 2 for Hausa, 3 for Benin. Then you retain your result. Okay, so that's what we do for a situation like this. Okay, so let's move ahead. Now, like I said earlier, this is incomplete data, so many missing data. You can't work on a work like this. So first of all, if you are given a work like this that is this scanty, you may want to consider sending it back to the person that gave it to you to do proper data filling, because you can't get any good result on this. Your percentage will not sum up to 100, and your result will be very poor. Now, what could possibly be the cause of this? When you see a work like this, yes, the person who entered the data is quite inexperienced, number one, and number two, the reason might just be that the questionnaire that I retrieved were not properly filled. That might just be the reason. The questionnaires retrieved were not properly filled, and the person being inexperienced just entered the questionnaire the way you received it into SPSS. Okay, and if you do that at times, your data will really be poor. Let's take for an example now. Okay, if you look at age now, everybody has age. Everybody have age rather, sorry. So the column for age cannot be empty. I mean, not one column should be empty for age because everybody have age. Okay, then talk about occupation. For occupation, everybody, based on your respondents, everybody have an occupation. Either the person is unemployed, you put unemployed there, or you put an occupation there. So there's not supposed to be any empty space in the whole of this column from beginning to end for every of your respondents. Okay, talk about religion. Everybody have religion, so there can't be any empty space for religion. As a matter of fact, that would be error in your data work, in your SPSS analysis. Okay, now let's talk about marital status. Everybody have a marital status. It's either you are single, or you are married, or you are divorced, or you are separated, whichever, which I'm sure that all the options here cover for. Okay, we have single, married, divorced, cover for everything. Separated could fall in that divorce as well. So everybody have a marital status. So there should be no empty box in the whole of this row. Okay, talk about tribe. Everybody have a tribe, so there can't be any empty space in tribe. All right, same for ethnic group, same for level of education. Either it is none. Let's check the options. Okay, we have primary, we have secondary, we have none. So either it is none, or it is primary, or it is secondary, or it is tertiary. Okay, so everybody have a level of education, so there should be no empty space here, and there should be no missing values. In other words, when I mean empty space, there should be no missing values in age, in occupation, in religion, in marital status, in tribe, in ethnic group. There should be no missing values. Okay, so like I explained earlier, because these are social demographic characteristics and they are common to every of your respondents, so missing values are not allowed in this area. No matter what, you can have missing values as you move ahead in your questionnaire. For example, when your respondent is not eligible to answer, like we've explained earlier in previous videos, the question you have, if yes, when your patient said no, he can't keep on answering. So he has to. So you have to record the missing value for that. Sorry, you have to record the missing value for that respondent in that box. Okay. So let's move further. So like I said earlier, especially for your social demographics, there should be no empty space. There should be no missing value. As a matter of fact, in the whole of your SPSS, there should be no empty space anywhere. Where there is supposedly an empty space should be filled with a missing value, like I've explained earlier. But for your social demographics, there should be no missing value even allowed in the first place. So now let's talk about what about when you go out for research and you get data that's not properly filled. What do you do? Because sometimes you encounter that difficulty. Some persons conceal their age even after assuring them that you are going to keep their information confidential. They still conceal their age, so you collect questionnaire with that age. What do you do in such a situation? I think what you should do is that during your data collection, first of all, you must stress the importance of them adding their age and reassure them that for sure their information will be confidential. And however, some of them will still not listen to you. So what do you do in such a situation? When you collect your questionnaire, you have to fill in age for them. Use your own estimate of their own age and fill in something for them. Everybody has an age. You can't do research work with some age missing. That's going to spoil your results. Okay, so that's what you do. So there are most times, as a matter of fact, you may have to do that in every work you do. You will always certainly record incomplete data collection in some of your questionnaires. Okay, so like I've explained earlier, you don't leave that space empty. You must make sure you fill in something for them, especially when there's supposed to be data for that, an answer for that question as relating to that particular respondent. Okay, so That's the basics of data cleaning. All right, so when you get data, like I said, the first thing you do is to go through your work and see what kind of data you've gotten. And as a matter of fact, if you don't get this right, you can't get your analysis right. Analysis begins with data cleaning. And as a matter of fact, most of your time doing data analysis will be spent on data cleaning, because most times you will likely get data that is incompletely filled and data with a lot of omissions or mistakes. And if you go on analyzing, you're going to have incorrect results. You're going to encounter difficulties when you are doing other higher statistical analysis. So having established this, let us look at an ID data. Now this is not an ID data like I mentioned earlier. If I have a data like this, I would likely send it back to the researcher to re-enter his data and fill up his SPSS spreadsheet before I work on it, because I can't work on something like this. I'm going to get false results and very, very poor results. Okay, so let's look at an ID data. It's supposedly ID data. All right,